All right, now let's get a check on the crypto market. At this point, we're seeing a bounce for Bitcoin. 1.28% was trading at $65,000, $66,000, but managed to get a bounce to about 68,000. But we did still see some profit taking around that level, bringing it back down to about $67,000. And we see Ethereum still sub $2,000. $1,947. BNB trying to make it back up to maybe $700 per coin, 0.43% up. And, some greens for most of the top 100 cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap. But let's look at the weekly performance for Bitcoin and Ethereum this week. Let's see how they've performed this week. That's talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Not much uptick there. All right, so we see Bitcoin 0.76% so far week to date. Ethereum, on the flip side, that's down 0.64% this week. So not much to see here, looking at performance for both of them. Well, let's bring in Olumide Additional now, financial market analyst. Hello, Olumide.
Hello, Ladi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Olumide. So, yeah, we're still seeing that range trade this week for Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I guess if you were shorter earlier this week, coming in from Monday up to Thursday, you definitely made some profit. That means you bet on Bitcoin, going down, and Ethereum that made profit. But today we're seeing a bounce now. Is this a bounce into the weekend, or how are you seeing it?
It looks like a dead cat bounce. Technically, in simple terms, simply means that the bounce looks like it's going to be short-lived. But you look at the beginning of this year, you could see that we are seeing exhaustion from the bulls. Recall that since October 10th, 2025, where cascade of losses in the derivatives market, a lot of traders have been unwinding their positions. And unfortunately, with events going around Iran and the United States, investors are moving back to the safe haven, and that's the US dollar. So you could see that major currencies, including Bitcoin, had to drop at some point. Looking at the price action of Bitcoin right now, over around 68,000, it tells you two-case scenario. We either wait for pumper action from Bitcoin ETFs, BlackRock, which looks unlikely with the tepid performance of US stock, particularly the heavy weights like Nvidia, Google. So most likely, it seems like 65,000 for Bitcoin is at play. But going forward, I think that the first quarter is going to be one of the worst performance for these assets since President Trump assumed office. And that pretty tells you that the narrative that we have a crypto pro president in the world's biggest economy no longer has to be on the economy. I think what really the crypto market needs now is liquidity. And as it looks like now, investors are not really interested in the crypto market right now, Ladi.
Yeah, it seems that's the consensus at this point. I hear most of the crypto traders that love to play in the casinos in the crypto market, they're moving out to prediction markets at this point. They're taking their money from most of those meme coins. They're heading to the prediction markets, betting on future events and making money there. But is it really more profitable than betting on the meme coins here?
I think, like you said, rightly said, in the world's most powerful economy, prediction markets have taken a role. You look at Poly Market, they're making so much money that they're opening grocery stores for low-income earners. But if you look back at Nigeria, I think what's really winning is the Nigerian stock market. You look at, I'm surprised to see a lot of crypto meme guys talking about Nigerian stock. Nigerian stocks have rallied heavily this year. Looking at 22, investors have pocket 22 trillion naira. You're seeing Dangote's wealth at an all-time high. That definitely caught the attention of the young populace. And, the naira strengthening, breaking below the 1,005 psychology. You see dumping the black market. And Dangote and Otedola forecasting that the naira might hit a 1,000. So the crypto market is denominated in dollars. So the incentive for the Nigeria to invest in the market that has been very parabolic, where they've lost more than half of their wealth in the meme space, is not there. So the increased attention in the naira through the stock market and money market has also helped the Nigerian currency, and has also reduced attention of Nigerians in the crypto space.
All right, so we're expecting data in the U.S. Later today. That's core PCE. The data is expected to come out at 0.3%, previous 0.2%. How do you think, the traders in the crypto market, how do you think they should trade around this data?
I think cautious. I think any positive news from the US definitely will pump the market temporarily, but I think that will be short-lived. Historically, we've seen that the weekends usually where profit taking is usually amplified. So I think for long-term traders, I think, might not matter so much, but for swing traders and scalpers, they should be very cautious.
Yeah, be very cautious. That's the message from Olumide Additional. Thank you so much, Olumide. Definitely, we'll see how it plays out this weekend and into next week. Maybe some kind of, maybe the bounce continues. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.